Alright, so after all of the excitement from last week, let's spin off entirely into new territory with speculation about what's going to happen to the golden crystal and the silver crystals after Chibiusa takes the throne. So here is the hard truth, one fact that we know absolutely for sure. Chibiusa is going to inherit the silver crystal as her primary power source. The lunar line is female, and Chibiusa also has that pesky crescent moon mark on her forehead. So while she is both lunar and earthling in bloodline, her bloodline is more strongly pulled to the moon. I mean, she claims the title Sailor Chibi Moon, not Sailor Earth, and she's female. You can look to real-world examples of history and mythology to describe the relationship between women and the moon, between Artemis and Selene, to the first recorded attempt at a calendar, 28 days. I will leave you to look that up on your own to figure out what that means. And there's also the fact that Chibi Moon would have existed without Endymion at all. I mean, this is going on if the Silver Millennium had not fallen and Princess Serenity went on to assume the throne of the Silver Millennium. We're gonna speculate just based on this. So just like Queen Serenity before her, if Princess Serenity had assumed the throne of the Silver Millennium, she would have had a daughter clone just like her mother did. I mean, think about it. Serenity has no known father. So the theory is that Queen Serenity wished for a daughter and the Silver Crystal was like, alright, here you go. But we could also turn this into the Silver Crystal being a kind of monkey's paw, leading to the eventual downfall of the Silver Millennium. And this would be why both Serenities are almost identical. With no other DNA to really work with, the Silver Crystal just kind of clones her. So when Princess Serenity eventually ascends the throne, she probably would have done the same thing, wishing for a child on the Silver Crystal. However, Chibiusa is here, and she is canonically half lunar, half earthling in origins, and with her lunar alleles being dominant in this situation, let's speculate to see what would happen to the golden crystal. We could go the lazy route and say that Helios would just take it back to Elysian, or we could go the more interesting route. As it also functions as a sailor crystal, and the wielder is now dead and gone, it probably will go back to the galaxy cauldron. Eventually, the Earth Senshi will be reborn anew and resume her duties as planetary guardian. However, now the Earth is inhabited by all of the lunar residents and their respective guardians. Queen Serenity II's daughter will have inherited the moon crystal at this point, and she's probably going to require her own guardian Senshi. And at this point, this would be where Sailor Earth comes into the picture. Since Queen Serenity II is guarded by the asteroid Senshi, probably all of the guardian Senshi that her mother had were probably also dead and gone, just like Endymion is. So now all of those Sailor Crystals went to be reborn, and they're probably born again on Earth or their respective planets. I don't know if we're assuming that they colonized the other planets again. So now Sailor Earth is joined by Sailors Mercury through Neptune, Pluto being eternal and living on in the space-time continuum. Serenity II's daughter is going to have a lot of guardians, unless you think that Sailors Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus are also eternal and have gone back to resuming their duties of being outer guardians and like guarding the solar system from afar, but that's your speculation to go with. Oh, and heaven help everyone once Sailor Earth discovers that she was once a member of the royal family, but since the lunar line cannot inherit the golden crystal, she is reduced to mere civilian form. This could get very interesting very quickly. Somebody go fix this because I don't have time to. So much potential for intrigue and mystery and drama. I know this week was very uncharacteristically short for me, but I had a lot of speculation to work with and that's about it. So I will see you guys next week. We're going to talk about Queen Serenity. Bye.